Once upon a time, in a quiet old town surrounded by hills and dusty roads, there lived a young man named Ravi. He was 25, but life had already made him tired. Every day he sat near the train station, selling small drawings and handmade postcards to travelers. The people around him called him the boy with colors, but secretly, Ravi didn't believe he had any real talent. His heart was full of self-doubt. He often said to himself, "What's the point of painting? No one buys my work. Maybe I'm just wasting my time." He lived in a tiny wooden hut close to the tracks. The walls were thin, the roof leaked during rain, and his table was covered with brushes and dried paint. Still, every morning, he came to the same spot near the station, spread his drawings on a cloth, and waited. Sometimes people stopped, sometimes they didn't. Most days, he earned just enough to eat a small meal. One hot afternoon, as the trains roared by, a man in a dark suit came walking down the platform. His shoes were shiny, his tie was perfect, and his face looked calm yet powerful. Everyone could tell he was a successful businessman. Ravi looked at him with admiration and thought, "Maybe if I ask him to buy one small painting, my day will be saved." He gathered courage, walked up, and said softly, "Sir, would you like to buy a painting? It's only 50 rupees." The man stopped, looked down at Ravi's colorful sketches, then looked into his eyes. "Do you really believe these paintings have value?" he asked. Ravi hesitated, then said, I think so, but people don't seem to think the same." The man smiled gently and said, "You know, young man, the world gives you exactly what you think you deserve. If you don't value your own work, why should anyone else?" Those words hit Ravi's heart like a bell. He stood there, speechless. The businessman continued, "Here's a thought. Stop asking people to give you money. Instead, think about what you can give them. Add value to their lives first, and you'll never need to beg again." With that, the man bought one postcard, placed a crisp note in Ravi's hand, and walked toward his train. Ravi watched him leave, feeling something change inside him. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept repeating the man's words, "The world gives you what you believe you deserve." He asked himself again and again, "What can I give?" The next morning, as the golden sun touched the railway tracks, Ravi had an idea. He decided he wouldn't just sell paintings anymore. He would give people a smile with his art, instead of simply waiting for someone to pay. He began drawing quick portraits of travelers waiting for their trains. He said, "Sir, may I draw your picture while you wait?" No charge, just a memory. People laughed, surprised, but they agreed. Within minutes, Ravi's hands moved like magic, capturing their faces with life and emotion. When he gave them the sketches, their eyes sparkled. They were touched. And although he never asked for money, most people insisted on paying him, sometimes double, sometimes triple. In just a few days, something wonderful happened. Travelers started recognizing him. They called him the artist of smiles. Even station workers came to see him work. His small stall was now always surrounded by people. One day, while he was sketching a little girl, someone tapped him on the shoulder. It was the same businessman. He was smiling, holding a cup of tea. "So?" the man said, "Did you find your answer?" Ravi stood up with shining eyes. "Yes, sir, you were right. The moment I started giving, truly giving from my heart, people began giving back without me asking." The businessman nodded. "That's called the law of exchange. In English, we say give and take. It means life becomes richer when you share something of value, time, skill, kindness, or even a smile." Ravi grinned and replied, "I understand it now. I used to wait for success to come to me. but now I realize it was waiting for me to give first. From that day, Ravi started teaching kids from nearby villages how to paint. Every evening, he gathered them under the big banyan tree near the tracks and said, "We may not have money, but we have colors, and colors are life." Slowly, his students' drawings began to decorate the whole station wall. It looked alive, full of dreams and hope. A local newspaper noticed his work and wrote a story titled, "The Boy Who Painted Hope." Soon, Ravi's name spread far and wide. He began receiving calls for exhibitions and art projects. Within a year, he opened a small art studio named The First Smile. Months later, during his first exhibition in the city, Ravi saw a familiar face among the crowd, the businessman again. He walked straight to him, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Sir, everything I have today began with your one sentence." The businessman smiled. "No, it began with your decision to believe in yourself. You see, a seed grows only when the soil welcomes it. You believed that was your soil." Ravi handed him a painting, a simple one. It showed a young man standing in front of a blank canvas, smiling as he painted the sunrise. At the bottom, he had written, "Give first, and the world gives back." The man looked at the painting, touched his heart, and said, "Keep teaching this to others. That's the real art." As Ravi watched him walk away, he whispered softly, "Thank you for showing me that I was never a beggar. I was a creator all along." The night sky outside the gallery was filled with lights. Ravi looked up and smiled. He finally understood that success isn't something you find outside. It's something you create from within. Vocabulary and idioms you learned in this story. Self-doubt gives when you don't believe in your own ability. Give and take gives an expression meaning mutual exchange. Both sides share something. The world gives you what you believe you deserve gives a saying that means your mindset shapes your opportunities. Seed and soil gives used as a metaphor for growth. Your belief is the soil where dreams grow. Moral of the story: when you focus only on receiving, life stays empty. But when you begin to give your time, your skill, your kindness, the universe starts returning it in ways you never imagined. So, what can you give today? If you enjoyed this story and learned something new, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more English through stories, where every word teaches you something for both life and language.